What's up, everybody? Little Big Robot's back with another video. Obviously, I'm in video form. I'm wearing my I need to wash my hair hat, so it's gonna keep everything in intact. Today, I thought it'd be fun to look just to kind of do a quick video about San Diego Comic Con is over. There's some other cons going on as well, and I thought it'd be fun to look at some of the items that just in some initial searches, I've been looking through all the different releases and announcements, and these are some of my favorites. These are what, one, two, three, four, five, six or seven of my favorites, the ones I'm most excited for right now. What's funny is I haven't quite yet found very many robots, little versions of big robots, in these links yet, but there's a ton more to look through, so I'm still looking. If you know of any that you think I would be excited about or that you're excited about, put it in the comments. Also subscribe if you can. I'm trying to get to 3,500, I think, by the end of the year, which I think I'll probably do. Who knows? Anyway, so let's just get right to some of the things that excited me the most. This is the Invincible line. Now, Invincible was a comic book, and is now going to be it's now an animated series. It's very, very violent. You might have seen it if you ever just Google or YouTube search for Invincible fight scene or whatever. You'll see how bloody it is. I'm not real impressed by the cartoon. I think it's a bit that, along with The Boys and shows like that, where it's like dark and kind of like a violent, rapey way. I can't watch that stuff. But the figure design, these particular figures, I just really, really, really like. They have a few different ones going on. I think that the pre-orders for the one I wanted the most is sold out, which was the one I was just looking at. But this is basically, what's his name? I forget what his name is. I can't remember. I don't know all the figures in the Invincible line, but I often will pick a figure and buy it just based on looks. God forbid, people do that, but that's how you get to know something. But I know these characters a bit, and I don't really care much for them in the show. But man, I love this. What's his name here? I forget. What's this dude's name here? 24 for 2. It tells me they're not going to be super huge and stuff, but they are selling out. So obviously you can see some people excited by them. Next, I've got this line called, it's from the new series, Star Trek series. It's going to come out called Prodigy, Star Trek Prodigy. I think it's coming out this fall. And what they have is, let's see if I can go back and see the rest of them. What they have is an introduction to the characters, but we don't know much else except for the trailer. I like I really like stylized characters, but there's a certain level of it where it goes a bit too far. Like World of Warcraft for me is too far stylized to be my favorite look. Some of the Pixar type shows, like the recent Buzz Lightyear movie, stylized to that level where it's really realistic, but there's obviously cartoony. So again, there's just a certain level that it just has to be perfect. And I think something like this reminds me of like the Avatar character, or what's the alien in Mass Effect. This is a close-up shot. You can see that the paint and stuff is not amazing, but these are smaller figures. So I think that these are going to be really, really just a fun little figure that I'm going to buy. Even though I've been disappointed with Star Trek series as of in recent years, I'm very disappointed. Picard was kind of garbage. Enterprise was kind of boring. They've all been pretty lame. This is going to be an animated series, so I think they're going to be able to kind of get us back a bit to that old-fashioned fun Star Trek type stuff. But again, it's hard. It's going to be hard to say. So this, I'm tempted at $14.99. I'm tempted to just pre-order the whole series because I don't think that they'll sell out. I don't think they'll be that popular. But you never know with this kind of stuff. So I might just grab some of these just because. But I'm really excited for this series. In particular, I'm excited for the what's her name here, Gwendala. I just think she looks cool. I like this body shape. I like this. The proportions are cool. I love this whole thing. It reminds me a bit of some figures my friend gave to me. Some of the old Avatar, the Last Airbender figures, not the new McFarlane ones, but the old line back in the day. And I love those little figures. And I also got some little 4-inch figures from, what's the movie Ready Player One. They put out some little 4-inch figures, and I absolutely love just kind of the size of that. They're almost miniature. They're not cute, but very, very cool. You can get some really nice details. So that's another thing. Next, I'm going to talk about, of course, the new She-Hulk. The series looks fantastic. I really like that they're putting such a sense of humor into it. She-Hulk, if you don't remember the comic series a couple years ago that was canceled, where it was just mostly a courtroom. Why can't I say that? Courtroom drama. She's a lawyer and stuff like that. And she stays in She-Hulk form, and she was doing the cases. She worked with Daredevil. That's why you see him in the trailer. In case you don't know, he's a lawyer, very good lawyer. And she's being played by Tatiana Maslany. I can't remember her name, who was in Orphan Black and was amazing in that. So she's going to be great in the role. A lot of people have given a hard time to this series because of the CGI looking pretty rough. Personally, I think we're spoiled on CGI. I think that it looks really, really good for what it is. It's fake. It's a big giant dude. Like even in Infinity War, when Hulk was Hulk Banner, when he's talking and he's like, I've combined both worlds. I love that character. I love how he talks and carries himself, and he's got a good sense of humor, yet he's a very powerful hero. His animation, you weren't blown away by, because it's not real, as good as Thanos was. That's not real, so you're seeing this kind of uncanny valley thing. That's the hard part about CGI, is when you're doing a character that isn't a real thing, a robot, a superhuman or something like that, instead of a real just trying to do a human made out of CGI, your brain automatically knows it's fake, so it tends to look even fakier than it does. They actually spoke recently at a con about the CGI in the show, and the actress Tatiana and the director or producer or whatever was talking about how hard these animators have to work under such circumstances, and they did what they could. I don't really care. The show looks really fun. I think it looks great. As far as the animation, looks fun. It's her and Hulk getting together. I can't wait for him to sit there and show her how to be a Hulk. But this figure looks really, really good too. I'm gonna do an upcoming video, spoiler, about series or toy lines I would like to collect but I haven't, and I would be scared to get into, because it would be, and Marvel Legends is one of them. There's like 1,200 figures, right? So of course it's a daunting number to try to get them all. But you could get 100 and get amazing figures. They're cheap. They're $24 for what you get. And if you really look at what we're getting anymore with toys, and you can apply this to video games, movies, we're really spoiled for rich. I mean, this is insanely cool sculpt, the build. Even though you see the joints in a lot of these figures, you can see the double joints in the knees and stuff like that. Your brain automatically fills it all in, and it just looks really, really cool. And her, by the way, her face sculpt is pretty amazing. If you compare that to the actual actress and what it looks like in the show and stuff, it's a fantastic. So I can't wait to pre-order this. I can't figure out where to pre-order it and when. I've asked them. I'm thinking that they're waiting until the show comes out in a couple weeks or a couple days at the time of this recording for them to put out that date. But I need to pre-order this because this is so cool. So cool. So that's another one I was excited about. These guys, or these figures here, were put on the toy subreddit, and I'm not a Metal Slug guy. I've thought about for a while. I wanted to get the Metal Slug tank, the Sherman looking tank. I know it's a game, and I know people have a lot of history with it. I don't really care. Again, this is a case of me liking the look of something and wanting to grab it. I believe these are pretty large. I didn't list the subreddit thread here. I'll put it in the description. But you can also find a lot of this information here on where the She-Hulk stuff is at. If you ever want to go to a great site, go to, you get cut off here, I think, for you, but Toy Arc, and Toy Arc will cover, just go to Toy Arc, ARK. It covers all this stuff. I'll put in the description as well a link to their roundup of SDCC. There's so much to look through. I know I'm missing a ton of really good stuff. But anyway, these were announced, these Metal Slug figures. I don't know what they are or what, but they look fantastic. They're pretty pricey from what I can see on the pre-order for the existing Metal Slug figures they have that they're going to put out. But so I imagine these will probably be the same. But this girl in particular, I don't know the character, whatever. I just think she looks really, really cool. I love, again, I like these kind of stylized. Looks like a Pixar movie or something, superhero movie, something like that. I don't know anything about Metal Slug other than it's a game and people have grown up on it. I think I remember it as a kid. I don't know, but she looks fantastic. There's some other accessories. There's a lot of other dolls in the lineup, but this one in particular, I just thought it looked really, really cool. This was just a strange thing I came across. It's a 7-inch Pocket Zootopia collection. I'm kind of shocked that they're getting away with the title Zootopia because I don't think it's literally a Zootopia thing. That's a Disney product or who made Zootopia? Was it Disney or was it? I can't remember. Disney owns everything, so it probably was. But absolutely, this looks like my dog, who we had to put to sleep about a year ago, named Roy, and I just noticed this. If you look, my tummy. Can you hear my tummy grumbling? I just noticed it. Does it look like he has really human hands here? Can you see that? I think you can see that. Let's see. Yeah, you can see that. It looks like really human hands, which is really, really creepy. I'm standing there looking cool. There's like 5 or 6 of them. Oh, I see. Look, he has human hands or dog hands. What the heck? So it has options. Anyway, it's just real. Here's all of them. So you get like of course, like a bulldog type. Don't buy a bulldog ever. It's a horrible breed. You get like a Shar-Pei looking thing, and then you get this one that looks like Roy. I just thought these were so cool. Now they're $94 a piece, so I don't know that I'm gonna get one. But this is something I would be really tempted to get just because. I think I'd have to see a review first, just because every time you get into cloth. Clothes and actual cloth items and stuff, you've got to be really careful. You can get something that's a bit garbagey, that doesn't really work very well. So I'm going to probably wait for a review on this. But these things are it's the Zootopia collection. This is over at 5K Toys. I'll link all of these in the description, by the way, in case you want to look. I've already looked at these guys here. This is another one, of course, that I'm excited about. Can I click on that and make it larger? See if I can. I don't know, my camera's out in the way here. Let me move this a little bit. There you go. This is of course, the Marvel Legends Miss Marvel from the TV series. So the show's been out for a while. We watched it. Absolutely loved it. I loved how bright everything was. I loved how it really felt almost like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer with the comic stuff going on. It was just a charming little show. I don't necessarily like that they changed their powers to like these light, no spoiler or whatever, you've seen it in the trailer, like a light power or something, but she still has embiggening in the show. She still does a lot of that. The actress is absolutely perfect for this role. I don't know that it's possible that if they could find somebody better than this actress. Now this face though sculpt compared to the actress, so I think is a bit it's a bit off. The actress is, it looks like her for sure. It's hard to tell with the mask, but the actress looks a bit more older than the actress is. The actress is like a kid, like 15 or 16. She's fantastic in the role. She's perfect for this comic book character role too. For this particular role, like it's built for her. It's so good. But the face sculpt is a little bit off, I think, maybe. But I'm blowing this image up. So, it's a 6-inch or whatever it is. Figure. I'm not too worried about pre-ordering this one. These Marvel Legends, unless it's something really rare, like one of the pulses or the HasLabs or something like that. It's not too hard to find them. Even the secondary market, you're not going to pay an arm and a leg unless you're really getting into some of the more rare stuff. So I'm not worried about that. She comes with, of course, build-a-figure parts. I don't care about that stuff. I usually sell it, or I just keep it in a bag, and one day I'll give it to somebody for a build-figure. But she has her tennis shoes. I mean, that's fantastic. It's just fantastic. I'm so excited to get those. This one you can pre-order now. The SheHulk I can't find on the Hasbro site yet. Again, they might be waiting for it. If anybody knows that, let me know in the comment section. And then lastly, some of the stuff that it came up with were some new. Oh boy, I'm hungry. Some new Warhammer figs. As you know, the McFarlane Warhammer line is one of my favorite lines. It's funny. The paint jobs are often hit or miss. They're barely there. You could touch them up. The posability, all that stuff is really not great at all. They all use the same figure, kind of. So there's a lot that detracts from the line. As much as it's like my favorite, there's a lot that like kind of detracts from it for me. But there's something I love about that. It's kind of hard to explain, but when I was a kid, I went through a lot of cheap toys. And so I got kind of used to, I guess, using your imagination a lot. It's just such a chunky, fun line. They're cheap enough, $20. I mean, this is $40 because it's a larger one, like the orcs. But it's just such a chunky, silly line. Warhammer or not, I really don't care if it's Warhammer. I like Warhammer. I read the books and stuff like that. I have a love-hate relationship with Warhammer as well. But it's just so over the top and silly and fun, minus all that IP and everything, which is easy to do, just minus the fact is Warhammer. If these were put out just as like, there's companies that do like new soldier line, space soldier, like generic-y kind of, not really a lore. Imagine if this was that way. People would be like, these are the greatest things ever. Now, as you can see, there's not a lot of posability with this guy. This is probably all he's going to be able to do. I'm not huge on posability if it doesn't need it, as long as it can do a cool pose or whatever. This ogre in real life wouldn't be able to do kick flips anyway, so this is cool. But I do want you to point out here, I think this is so funny, they're actually showing here the stand this is the actual stand. If you've seen my reviews of these guys, you know what I'm talking about. This is the stand that you get with the Warhammer McFarlane 7. Is a tiny little circle that will plug into a single foot, and you can help you stand. What drives me crazy about that is, yes, they're keeping pricing down, but just take that thin piece of plastic, extend it to cover both feet at least. Maybe put 2 or 3 pegs in it and test it so you could put it in different positions. And then you could have, these are some of the hardest figures to stand on your shelf, especially when you start to paint them and mess with them and stuff and try and put them in cool positions. I have to use gunpla stands for these guys. Even the ones that are like meant to bent over and look hunched over, they just fall. It drives me crazy. So that's, as much as I love this line, it's one of my favorite lines of all time just because it's so chunky. I hate that they cheap out on something like a thin piece of plastic that you could easily put in the package. Look how tiny it is. I'm kind of shocked they even show it in the picture. It's just so sad. So I'm excited for that. And then there's more of the McFarlane line. There's the new. These are all coming, by the way. These are Dark Tide. Dark Tide figures are not. That's a video game shooter, and so these aren't really going along with your normal. I mean, I guess they could, but they're not. You just don't throw them in with your Marines. Although I'm going to do it. These are from the video game, but still, I think they look fantastic. You've got the. I think this is the. Which guy is this? I can't remember. Anyway, these are the other 2 that they've announced. Now you can see already. It's using the typical. You can see where they're using the typical. Joints and stuff like that, but as you notice with these thinner guys compared to one of the big guys, or even your Space Marine ones, like your typical Space Marine. Let's see if I can find it. Like these guys, I love the sisters, the Battle Sisters. There's no way they could hold this pose. This pose is being fabricated somehow. They do not stand. You see how the stand barely covers her feet? So these you can find for $10, $15, and it's just kind of an ugly character. In the paint job, but when you put a wash on them, the details are amazing. So with all these guys, you can see it with the Battle Sisters. You can do a bit more posing than you can with one of the Marines, because the Marines or the Orc, for example, is just this big, huge slab. You can't really do much with them. So they're cool for toy photography, stuff like that, but really, I'm just excited to get more figures in line. You can see how when you remove a lot of the bulk and a lot of the armor, they can do more of a dynamic pose. Now, granted, this could be a fabricated pose as well, meaning using a stand or something, not just natively. But see how he's holding that gun like that? That would be shocking if he was actually able to hold that gun like that. Even there, right there, that's cool. I mean, his face sculpt is really nice. So as usual, Warhammer and McFarlane do great sculpts, but to get the price down, which I can appreciate, same time, I wish it was a little more and the quality was a little better. To get the price down, they use the same molds or the same figure for several characters, tweaking it a bit, and then they don't do great paint jobs a lot of times. They're not really there. I wish they do better color separation and stuff. So, but anyway, I thought I'd give you all a look at some of the stuff I'm really, really excited for. Of all these things, really, this character in particular, I'm really excited for. These metal slugs, I'm really excited for. I'm not going to end up getting these guys probably. They're probably all sold out. These dog guys, So really the metal slug and the new Warhammer I'm just really, really excited for, because that's been my jam for a long, long time, Warhammer. But anyway, tell me what you think. I'm still looking through all the links and all the announcements and the cons, and there's still some cons going on as we speak, I believe. Let me know if you have any others, what I'm looking for generally, or little giant robots, little versions of giant robots. But if you have something else, I'd be happy to see it as well. So enjoy. Have a good day, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.